Good morning. Now we're gonna read
chapter
39.
39.
Okay,
You gonna read?
this is part 2. And you can go ahead and read.
When Joseph was taken to Egypt by the Ishmaelites, traders, he was purchased by Potiphar and Potiphar, a Egyptian officer. Potiphar was the captain of the guard of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. The Lord was with Joseph, so he succeeded in everything he did as he served in the home of his Egyptian master. Potiphar noticed this and recognized that the Lord was with Joseph.
It said Potiphar.
Potiphar noticed this and realized that the Lord was with Joseph, giving him success in everything he did. This pleased Potiphar, so he soon made Joseph his personal attendant. He put him in charge of his entire household and everything he owned. From the day Joseph was put in charge of his master's household and property, the Lord began to bless Potiphar's household for Joseph's sake. As all his household affairs ran smoothly, and his crops and livestock flourished. So Potiphar gave Joseph complete administrative responsibilities over everything he owned. With Joseph there, he didn't worry about a thing except what kind of food to eat. Joseph was a very handsome and well-built young guy, and Potiphar's wife soon began to look at him lustfully.
Uh-oh.
Come and sleep with me, she demanded. But Joseph refused.
He gonna break away. Go ahead.
Look, he told her, my master trusts me with everything in his entire household.
Right.
No one here has more authority than I do.
Nobody.
He has held back nothing from me except you.
Right.
Because you are his wife.
Mm-hmm.
How could I do such a wicked thing?
Don't.
It would be a great sin against God.
Yep.
She kept putting pressure on Joseph day after day, but he refused to sleep with her. And he kept out of her way as much as possible. One day, however, no one else was around when he went in to do his work. She came and grabbed him by his cloak, demanding, come on.
That's his clothes. She wanted it.
Come on, sleep with me. Joseph tore himself away, but he left his cloak in her hand as he ran from the house. When she saw that she was holding his cloak and had fled, she called out to her servants. Soon, all the men came running. Look, she said, my husband has brought this Hebrew slave here to make fools of us. He came into my room and raped me, but I screamed. When he heard me scream, he ran outside and got away, but he left his cloak behind with me.
What?
She kept the cloak with her until her husband came home.
What?
Then she told him her story, that a Hebrew slave brought into our home,
A Hebrew slave broke into the house. Okay.
Into our house, tried to come in and fool around with me, she said. But when I screamed, he ran outside, leaving his cloak with me. Joseph put in prison.
Whoa, you gotta go. Go ahead.
Potiphar was furious when he heard his wife's story about how Joseph had treated her. So he took Joseph and threw him into prison, where the king's prisoners were held. And there he remained. But the Lord was with Joseph in the prison and showed him his faithful love. And the Lord made Joseph a favorite with the prisoners. Before long, the warden put Joseph in charge of all other prisoners
Again, he in
and
charge of
over
yeah.
everything that happened in the prison.
But God.
The warden had no more worries about Joseph because Joseph took care of everything. The Lord was with him and caused everything he did to succeed.
Yeah, now see when you have favor. Now you see what's going on with Joseph.
Right.
His brothers now did what? They threw him in the pit, meant it for evil.
Right.
But God got him out because he can do this and do that.
Right. He sold him to that man for slavery.
Right. Then now he a slave. He was head of the slaves. But God. And then now the lady lied on him, broke him out. Now he went to jail, and look what he had now. He back what? Head of the jail.
Right.
But remember what I told you, in every story in the Bible, the downfall of a man will be a what?
Woman.
Right. And that's going to be if you pay attention to every story in the Bible, the downfall of a man is a woman. So that's why a man got to be strong. He got to take charge. He can listen to a woman. He can take advice and all that, but sometimes he got to be strong. Because if he don't, he's going to get tricked every time. See, right. Joseph was strong. He ran. He got away. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And God honored that. So you got to be strong.
Right. God kept his promise. He said at the beginning that he will be with them. And he was.
Right. All right. Let's go to the next. Hold on.